So, well, welcome to our office. First time that you come here.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Amazing.
You know, so you're going to be one of those lucky ones, I guess, to see the old office and probably the new office coming soon.
I'm excited.
So we always just greet people with our, condecorations and things like that, with our credentials, right? Because that's very important. So we are licensed in, I think, 4 to 5 states. Actually, the licenses don't fit on the wall, so we have just some of them. We have some of them actually.
What are the states that you cover again?
So I am licensed in Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in those locations, you guys can actually reach out to Flow Design.
That's right. So we went to the Boston Architectural College, me and Marcos, both of us. So we have my degree and his degree there. And these are the 2 condecorations I mentioned to you before, being NCARB, which allows me to basically be licensed anywhere in the United States, including also Puerto Rico, Canada, Mexico, and Australia, New Zealand, I think it is too.
Wow.
There's different places because of that, yeah. And I'm part of the American Institute of Architects, which is basically our credential, or institute, right, or representing body, right? So that's that. Funny story. The first license I ever got, the first license was in Maine.
Really?
Yeah.
It was in Massachusetts?
It was not Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you why. So my daughter, Eviana, was being born the same week that I had already passed all my exams and finished everything. And that week I called Maine and I asked, I want to be an architect. I want to call myself an architect, at least in Maine, because you cannot call yourself an architect in a state that you're not licensed. I'm an architect here, but I am not an architect in, let's say, California, right?
Okay.
So I could say I am an architect in Massachusetts, but not there. So I just needed that. I just needed to say I'm an architect, right? So you work so hard, you pass all the exams, you wanted to. So I called her and I became friends with the person that runs the board. And I was like, listen, if my girl's been born tomorrow, I really want to have my license the same day that my daughter is born. So I don't think this says when I got the license.
But it's her birthday.
But it was, it was in August.
Oh, birthday was yesterday.
So no, her birthday is this week.
Oh, okay.
But it's not the way the time they issued it wasn't when she was born, because you go to the hospital, it takes a little while to get the baby out, right? So it took a little while. It wasn't until the 10th that she was born.
Wow.
So she was born on August 10th. So so
that's her gift.
That's right. That's right. So that was actually very fun to get that one, because they were the only ones that could give it to me within 24 hours.
Wow.
So they gave it to me, and immediately, we were at the basement, right, grinding at the basement.
Of course.
So that's that. We have our little greeting area. This part right here is our interiors department. So we have samples of different finishes, carpets, some of the brands that we use and recommend when we're working on projects.
Okay.
So in general, it just really helps to show people, the textures, the colors, and things like that. And we also have some of our models from when I was in college. So this is my thesis project, which is actually all the way at the right too. That was my final board when I graduated.
Wow.
And at the top we have Marcos's models from when he went to school too.
I like them.
We already have 2 awards. This is one of them. We also became the Boston Home Magazine Rising Star Architect, which is awesome. So that felt good.
Congrats.
So we have that, and some models in here showing processes and things like that for the design. But most of these are finishes in general for the projects that we do.
Where do you guys kind of get your inspiration and design?
So, inspiration comes from everywhere, right? So, but we do follow other channels, other websites. There's websites that we go to, and we keep ourselves always looking at things. Always, we get books, new books from new architects all the time. So that that starts in life. Every day, right? Every day in life, everywhere you go, you're like, oh, that's a really cool thing. So you keep always tracking it, So we try to track a lot. We have a lot of books. So most of them are going to be showcased when we move.
Okay.
But that's that. And one thing I always mention to people is that we didn't want to just get IKEA furniture or any just generic furniture. All of our desks we got in custom made.
Wow.
So all of them were made the color we wanted them, the style we wanted them. I got inspired from an office I worked at, and I really liked that. They didn't have the cubbies, so I added the cubbies. and we match all of them. But turns out that the woodworker that did those is not the woodworker that did this. So you can see with the legs are
kind of see
thicker.
the difference.
But we wanted to keep it all consistent and cohesive, you know. This was the first office we ever had, ever since the basement. Because I have my basement, and then from the basement we moved here.
Oh, you literally started in the basement.
We started at the bottom.
That's not just a story.
Started at the bottom, now we're here, right?
I love it.
So, but you know, and I always show people this. This is how we started. It was just a black desk, a little $50 desk that we got at Staples.
Wow.
And me and Julio. It was just me and Julio. Marcos was still working full time at his job, so he didn't join us until shortly after, relatively soon. But this space looked humongous.
Wow.
Now it's tiny.
Now it's tiny.
We don't fit in here.
And you're even this is tiny. He's moving.
Yeah, no. I don't show myself too much because I look a lot better now.
Of course.
It's like
usually the case, right?
It's like I guess
he's always improving.
The profession is helping me. So and we showcase some of our bigger projects. So this is a 24 to 28 unit project in Fitchburg that we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Fitchburg is changing then.
It is. That's one of them. This is one of the projects that we typically showcase in our sample document.
I love that.
We did this one for a client in Natick. They saw the house that sold for like $300,000 above asking price and said, "I want you to make me one like it."
Wow.
We try to make.
And these are like more modern style.
Yeah. So in Natick that sells too.
Okay.
You know, people like it, and that's the house. That's the house that he saw that he wanted me to make one like it.
I've seen that house.
So I said, no, I'm not gonna make you one like it. We're gonna make you something that goes with your house, right? So that's one.
Beautiful.
You know, so and like I said, we tried. One thing I didn't like from other offices, I didn't like offices, and I'm not trying to criticize other architects, but any office that didn't give me the feel of creativity and design and building and making, I didn't like. So I worked at offices that had engineering, mechanical, plumbing, structural all together in-house, and it felt very like you couldn't even breathe. You know what I mean? Like it was very like quiet, and you know now it's quiet here because we don't want to have music in the background or whatever. But it felt boring.
Right.
It really just felt boring. And I didn't go to architectural school to be bored.
To be bored.
No. I like making, I like cutting, I like making models, I like doing all these things. I want to see things, I want to see colors, I want to see everything. So more and more, every time I see that I would build the office, we were like, it's got inspired design. You know, the custom-made furniture, the custom-made peanut boards, right? All of those we got to make for ourselves, for us, right? We wanted it to feel like a little museum, you know, and we show all of our work and things like that.
I love it.
I didn't want, some places didn't even have pinup space.
Wow.
And me coming out of architectural school, we have like all the walls are pinnable, so you can put drawings anywhere.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't want to go to an office that didn't have pinup space. I want to pin up my work.
It makes the most sense.
So we started making all of those. And
I love that.
Yeah, and they were not cheap at all. These things were all really to get them made.
Wow.
But that's it, you know. Also, offices that have one screen, I can't do it with one screen. We need
You're more productive with two. I completely agree.
I need to. One office actually had 4. I thought that was overkill.
That's overkill, yeah. I think 2 is a good number.
Yeah, so with everything, you know, even selecting the computers, the memory of the computers, I've been very judicial about making sure that it has the power that they need, the softwares that they need, paying for the licenses that everybody needs. We still do need to get a couple of other things, but technology keeps coming up. But we want to be ahead, you know.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I don't want to be behind technology. Don't want to be one of those.
And I noticed that you don't have like cubicles that separate everybody. This is very like bringing everybody together.
It helps people out in communicating and learning from each other. For instance, Rai talks to Jose. Jose is one of the senior members of Flow, and she gets to pick up some ideas there and learn, and they get to look at each other. If people have their own cubicle, oh, Billy,
they're isolated.
I had cubicles in one of the offices I worked at. I just hated every second of it. I just hated it.
Yeah.
So I can't be at a place that didn't feel fun, you know. So we put some Sonos speakers here. We have music. Oftentimes it's blasting when I'm not around.
I can imagine.
And then it's blasting when I'm around, when I'm just alone.
Okay.
All by myself. I get wine and I sit here until 10 p.m. And Tim sees me. Tim's laughing right there. Tim sees me. He's like, "What's going on?" It's like, you know, single divorce architect enjoying the life. But you know, it's gotta be fun. You know, it has to be fun. You have to enjoy. You have to have passion. You have to love what you do. So that's the environment we're building. And the new office will be a lot more of that. You know, like fun, but another level. Like the next season of Flow Design. You know what I mean? So in general, we try to have all of this, you know, as organized as possible.
And how many employees did you have versus how many you have now?
So we were me and Julio and I.
Right.
That's how it started. Then we got Marcos was involved from the beginning,
But he still had his full time.
but he was working full time. He was just it was hard actually. He would drive after work late night and be here with me until 10 p.m. and drive 2 hours because he lives next to Amherst. You know Amherst?
He lives that far.
From Salem, Mass to New Salem, Mass.
Wow.
That's you probably didn't even know there was a town called New Salem.
No.
So there's Salem, Mass and New Salem, Mass. So he would drive all the way 2 hours in and 2 hours back, 4 hours. He's still doing it to date.
He still does
Full
that.
time, he drives. The only day he does not do it is Fridays. We all told him here at the office, listen, take Fridays off, work from home.
Yeah.
So he's got a nice setup at home, so he's enjoying life. But it takes a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Darwin this, Darwin that. Dude, I'm nothing. Without Marcos and without Julio, this would never exist.
Wow.
Because I'm crazy. I needed two crazy.
You needed more crazy
two
people
other crazy ones to join.
To go in together. No,
yeah. So we try to, we now have an office manager. She sits in here. She works Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays.
Okay.
That helps us out on collecting and moving things along, right? We have our supply side.
I love this.
All of our supply, all of our hard hats. Try to keep it orderly too. And all of this is the team, like Julio saying, well, we probably need these. Because I don't dictate like everything, you know what I mean? Like I'm not controlling everything.
It's a team effort.
Yeah. So we get it, we
has a
assemble
voice.
it together, we put it together, So they decided that we needed another office. They decided it themselves.
Yeah.
If it was up to me personally, I'm so attached to this place.
I know.
I don't want to change my address. I think I probably already got a tattoo with my address in the back. We're gonna have to erase it.
Gotta scratch it off.
So yeah. So we I don't want to change my address. I hate changing my address. So that's the way that's the way it is. So change is being triggered by the team.
I love it.
Yeah. We have all of our policies and things like that here with supplies, birthdays, which is very important. We go all out with the birthdays. Anybody that watches our YouTube channel sees and our Instagram.
Yeah.
We go all out with our birthdays.
On the next one, September 15th, I'll be here for the cake.
Yeah, that's actually Jose. So, and we had Marcos as recently too. We have some references of things that we gotta know and the schedule so that we know when people are on vacation.
Okay.
Colors, typical things that we deal with, bathroom layouts, attic installation, tempered glass requirements, attic to become bedrooms, what we need to do, things like that. In general, we have them in here. Egresses for basements, right? And things like that. When you need, what's the minimum opening size? The typical things that we had to, deal with.
Okay.
And I noticed you were looking at this right here.
Yeah, I love it. It's different, it's new design.
This one's coming
modern.
up soon, actually. We actually went to see this building.
In Revere?
Yeah, we went to see this building for the first time since it started construction this week. And we already did a whole video on this project. We actually, in my YouTube channel, I have a presentation where I talk about it. So this client comes to us and says, I saw your website, you're modern, you're diverse, you're different. I want you to make me an amazing two-family. And I'm like, cool, we'll do it. So he bought a lot in Revere. And that's about, you need to do your due diligence. The lot was too small, it was not developable.
Oh.
So he buys the non-developable lot.
Yeah.
And I say, well, this is dead, project's dead. Calls me another week, hey, I got another lot. I'm like, really? So yeah, come take a look. I take a look at the lot, very hilly, slopey lot, near Revere Beach. It looked almost really small, but it wasn't. Now looking at it, it wasn't. And he showed me this vision, the wish list. He wanted 2 pools, rooftop decks, skylights on the bathrooms, high-end stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, is it really serious? We showed one design option. They didn't like it. Another design options. Nope, it's not iconic enough. I want to be in magazines. And we said, you know what? Let's combine Julio and Yvonne, one of my other designers. And we're going to go all out. This came.
Wow.
This whole thing came. So Julio orchestrated the interior very well. And Yvonne kind of massaged the exterior to go with the interior.
This is a two-family.
This is a two-family.
Wow. And what is this? What are they trying to sell the
I think each one's are gonna go up at least 800,000 each.
800 each.
At
They'll
least.
probably get more.
Yeah. So they each have swimming pools for each one of them. Each one has a rooftop, and they have a deck outside too. So rooftop at the very top, and also a deck outside.
Okay.
So superb. I'm telling you, superb. One really cool thing about this property, and this one doesn't have it in here because we changed the layout, but the owner decided to take away an entire piece of the floor and have it double height all the way through. So the second floor bedrooms got smaller here because of that. So, but you can see all the way down and you can still see the ocean.
Oh my God.
It's super cool. You gotta watch that video.
Yeah, I gotta
It's
see
gonna come soon. It's gonna come. We're not right now editing.
This is honestly what, like, one of my dreams to do, because I want to get my own property. But I think, like, with the way the prices are now, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I would prefer to buy the lot and get a new build and then just buy it out myself.
Sometimes you can find horrible properties that are worth less with buildings in them than empty.
Really?
Meaning buying a
Already existing?
horrible one that's about to fall down, demoing it and using that lot is worth more for you. It's better for you. It's cheaper than finding a good lot at a good location that you can build.
Wow, okay.
So this one was a jewel. He found this one. We went all out. We did it. It's amazing.
Amazing. I love it.
It's
This
really
is
amazing.
Innovative.
So the way that the office is divided, which I didn't explain to you, is divided into two. So Marco Severino has his own sort of group, and I have my own group. We share them, but we kind of work together, you know. And this side is basically my side, and that side is basically his side. So he has more people right now than me. But we do try to share and split and work together as a team. So Julio has been with me. I would never trade him.
I wouldn't either, I mean.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what, Marcos, that's okay. I have Julio with me, and I sit at this corner. My desk is a mess. Absolutely a mess. It's just, you know, the way I am, very creative.
This is
So
amazing.
Tim is working here and watching Jay-Z at the left. That's just how he does it, you know.
Productive.
You know, yeah, that's how it is.
Multitasking, that's how you
he's
gotta
getting
do it.
inspired, you know.
That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, he's working good.
I used to do the
It
same
makes
thing.
me think that he doesn't need two screens. Probably just needs
He
one.
probably just needs one.
I might just take one. That's it. But you know, this is the office. This
love it.
is how we flow. You know,
This is beautiful, man. I'm honestly just proud, you know, as a Latino, to see you progressing, building your team, and expanding. You know, that's huge. And you're innovative with your work, making different changes, changing literally communities.
That's right.
All around. I mean, that's amazing. That's something to be very proud of.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a pleasure working with you. With the flip.
When is the next flip?
Well, we gotta see. I mean, the market's crazy right now, but you know, I gotta find the deals.
And there is a strategy for every market, right?
Every market is
So there's
strategies.
always something. You figure something. In fact, we're working together with your class right here.
make it
You
happen.
invited me. That's great. That's great.